guide them, want to be able to sell the drugs, but overall, gang members don't fight over drugs, they fight over territory. You know, they want to feel a sense of ownership because they have not had families to guide them. And that's what the most of the fights are about.
So, and that's where your organization comes in, is that right?
Right. We try to show them how to overcome their anger, you know, forgive their families for not being there, you know, stop hating themselves so that they can learn how to deal with things in life. But we got to get them sober first, those that are using drugs, you know.
How do you feel about 12-step programs, recovery homes?
I like them. I like the concept. I don't like the addiction. You know, a lot of people get into the 12-step program and now they're addicted to the program. I think that we need to overcome and become free people so that we can maintain our own life. I mean, what's the use of getting off drugs and now you're addicted to a 12-step program?
Well, I understand that, but it is a way of keeping yourself responsible for yourself.
Yeah, but we have, and I agree, it should be a temporary thing, because within all of us, we have the ability to do that. It's just that we have to discover it. And most people don't know how to help us to discover that inner self, that responsibility that comes from within.
Now, what do you say to people like me who believe that an addiction is really a physical, genetic predisposition?
I would say that that is wrong. Most addictions are spiritual in nature, meaning that most people have other issues going on within, and they use some type of drugs or something to escape that feeling, to make themselves feel better, to feel good or feel right about being wrong. And if we can get them to get over that, the drugs and the so-called addiction will fall to the wayside.
And what about some of the statistics that we have seen and studies that we've seen that indicate and really are going against that particular philosophy and saying that people are predisposed?
Two reasons. You get a lot of money from keeping people down. And so when these statistics come out and say we have 80% of people who are addicted to drugs and not going to get over it because they're born that way, you get a lot of money for that program. And so they tell people that in order to use them for their own personal gain. I know for a fact that we can get over whatever it is that we want to get over. We just have to have a desire to do it and get the right information to do it with. But most people don't want us free. They want to control us.
And I think that drug prohibition, I would see as part of that system of control. And I see that as a problem, making the neighborhoods worse. And I've been in poor black neighborhoods. I've been in some of those black neighborhoods. In fact, I've dated women that live in some of those communities.
You dated black women?
Of course.
You dated a black woman?
Of course.
Wow. You don't look like the kind of guy that would date a black woman.
Of course I would.
He's too white to date a black woman.
What kind of a guy?
He doesn't even have a tan enough to date
I don't even see that as an issue at all. No, I dated a woman, and I used to have to drive to her house, pick her up, and she would put the seat down because if her friends who were in the gangs, or not her friends, they weren't her friends, if the people in the gang saw her with a white guy, they would hassle her.
That's right.
You know, and that's too bad, I think.
It is.
Okay, and
yet there's no law against it, though.
And there's no law against it. It's their law. And
well, it should be. I mean, you shouldn't have the freedom to attack someone simply because they want to date whomever they want to date.
Definitely not.
We have the right to do that.
They would. The police would. And then we go back to that thing, what we were talking about before, is that the drug war is futile. We can't control these gangs. And where they have legalized drugs, they have brought or medicalized the problem. They have taken their crime rates down, sometimes by half. Holland, England, where they've medicalized these problems.
But look at Holland, though. Those people are on drugs, and now you got a bunch of drug addicts running around town.
Well, that's what we got now.
And now they're trying to clean up the community because these drug addicts are everywhere.
Well,
they're trying to hide them in a corner.
We have them everywhere now, and we have that now. What they're doing there is at least they can find help. Maybe
but you don't get help when someone says that it's okay to use drugs.
We're not saying it's okay.
May I make one other point? In reality, we don't really have a drug war going on. Since Ronald Reagan administration, we have not had it. Bill Clinton did not put any emphasis on the drug war. I don't know if because he inhaled, he smoked and inhaled.
He didn't inhale.
Yeah, but this past 8 years under his administration, we really haven't had a drug war going on.
I think we arrested
the borders are open. You got people coming in illegally and bringing drugs in. You know, just we haven't really had a drug war.
We put about 1.5 million people in jail for marijuana. And again, like I was saying before, we can't make the punishment any worse. And it's not doing any good. We got kids going to jail for 10 years for drugs. They get AIDS in jail. They die of AIDS. They're sexually assaulted in jail. They die of AIDS in jail even before they can finish their sentences. You can't make the problem the punishment any worse. It's not working.
I agree that we need some type of program that really helps these kids. When they do incarcerate them, they need some type of program to help them to overcome it.
But isn't it harder
to stop using drugs?
Isn't it harder once someone's been in jail
it's
to
the
reach them with your message?
The best time is when they're in jail because you have their attention.
Well, actually,
most people don't want to be in jail, and so while in jail, you have their attention. And that way, I've noticed that when I work in the prisons and jails, the juvenile detention center, I get better responses from the kids than I do when they're out free because they can run wild and do what they want. But in jail, they don't want to go back, so they're ready to receive help. Most of them.
Isn't it truly the very best way to attack the problem is in the home? And in the individual.
Absolutely.
It's not with law enforcement. It's not with rules. It's not with punishment. It's in the family.
I agree 100%.
The only thing that's going to keep our kids off of drugs is called a parent.
Yes.
Right.
That's what I think.
That's why we're trying to restore the family. Fathers and mothers have to work together to guide their children in the right way to go. It is not the responsibility of the community to try to guide our children. When God gave us a son or a daughter or both, He didn't say, here's a child, but I'm going to give it to you so that the community can raise it, so that some program to raise it. It is our responsibility.
Thanks for coming out. We have about a minute left. Your organization, your website is a nonprofit organization.
Yes.
It's Bond. What's the website?
www.bondinfo.org.
Okay, it's a nonprofit educational organization. Another nonprofit organization is called the Libertarian Party.
Yes.
We do have actually our nonprofit status, but that website is www.lp.org, or you can call
1-800-ELECT-US.
Or you can go down to you can go down to your local post office and register to vote as a Libertarian. This is possible. We've elected 450 people in office right now, sheriffs, district attorneys, water board, park boards, mayors.
Register as a Libertarian, run as a Libertarian. We need more people out there as Libertarian advocates to go out there and run for these offices.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye. See you next time.
See you next time.